Brian, does it feel like a weight was lifted at all with this one? And does it help that, I don't know, I guess how does it impact the way you feel that it was a grind of a game?
Well, I think it should. The impact of this win and how we won, coming off a 3-game slide, should just reaffirm to all of the, and I don't know if we have a lot of naysayers about this team, but any of you out there that are listening, any of the naysayers or anybody that thinks that, we're, happy with CCL and we're just ready to pack it in for the rest of the year, I think you should take a look at the performance of that group of players, the determination that they showed to go a man down and manufacture a couple of scoring chances. I know Albert was taking some heat from, people about not scoring or whatever, but that pass that he plays into Jordan, I mean, not a lot of guys see that. So kudos to him, kudos to Jordan to following up on the play. Nico, the crack team over here, says he's 17 for 17 on PKs in the regular season. So you look at that group of players and their determination to grind out a victory, and you got to give it to them because they put everything into that game, and it was a well-deserved 3 points.
Jeff Baker, welcome back.
Hey, speaking of some of the adversity you guys have faced lately, I mean, you have a core on this team, some veterans that have been here before and that have overcome a lot more seemingly insurmountable stuff than this. How important was it to see somebody like Jordan kind of step up and lead the charge in that case? I mean, he was making some good runs all game long, and how much are you going to have to rely on the guys that are here, as opposed to in the past when you've gotten, let's say, some late transfers that have provided a boost?
Great question. I'll ask Garth and Craig about the late transfers, so thank you for that. Look, what we discussed before the game, Jeff, was the pressure. The pressure of coming off 3 games where we didn't play up to our potential. And do we play tight, or when we get frustrated, how do we overcome those moments? And what I told them, as I said, you guys have been in so many pressure-filled games already this year. And Jordan is part of that crew that's been here since 2016, and we've been to finals, and we've won CONCACAF, and we've played away in tough stadiums. And so they weren't afraid. They weren't, the game wasn't too big for them. And I think Jordan was just another example of what I said in the beginning in my opener, that he, raised his game. I think when the game opened up or, we went down a man, he was the guy that stretched the field for us. Now, having said that, I'd also pay Will Bruin a nice compliment because he played really well and helped Jordan because he was sandwiched between 2 really big defenders and took their attention so Jordan could get up and down the field. But, Jordan was influential. All the guys stepped up tonight.
What went into the decision not to dress Newham, not to play Newham?
That was my decision. It was a coach's decision. It was disciplinary in nature, and it's been handled. And he will be joining the team with us back again on Monday in preparation for LAFC.
Go across the room here to Maz Vida. It's coming around for you, Maz. Thanks for your patience. And if there are other hands, we'll go ahead and take them just for next questions. Go ahead, Maz.
Yeah, Brian, I just wonder if you could go a little bit more in detail in terms of, it did look like once you were playing 10 on 11 with more space, there was more creativity in that.
I might disagree with you a little bit, Maz, because after they scored the goal, which I wasn't pleased about, I thought the last 35 minutes of the first half, I thought we created some stuff. I thought we were okay. I mean, the game ebbs and flows and all that. I'll watch again on film to see if you're right or I'm right. But certainly when the field did open up and, our players did step up, I think you saw some maybe some more creativity, like you said, or maybe it's just more determination, or maybe Jordan just had those spaces to run into, because they were pressing numbers forward. So it did open up some space, and we know that's what Jordan likes. He likes to run into that space.
In that, how important is defense on the balance of that?
Okay, another guy I want to specifically point out today was Javi. I thought Javi was tremendous today. I thought that was one of his best games that I've seen him play. Yaimar solid. Alex had to go onto the left side for Kellen. Kellen actually wasn't bad before his little lack of, whatever. So I thought overall defensively we were good as well. Steph steady in goal as always. Good to have him back. But I thought Javi was really good tonight.
Okay, I think the next question in the room is over here to Jeremiah again for follow-ups. Reminder for those on Zoom, if I don't see any hands, I'll assume there are no questions, but okay, Felipe, thank you. I see your hand. If you have a question on Zoom, like Felipe, please hit that raise hand function button. We'll be coming to you next. Jeremiah, go ahead.
Yeah, a couple big calls in this game. One, or non-calls. One of them, what was the dispute that the Rapids had, or did you have any sense of what the dispute was on that free kick? And and then what did you make of the second yellow to Kellen?
Let me address that one because that's an easier question to answer. You cannot toss the ball over the signboards. That the refs have given us, PowerPoint presentations at the beginning of the year, delaying restarts, all of that sort of stuff, moving too close to the ball. Kellen understood that. I give Kellen a lot of credit. He waited at the entrance from the field into the locker room and made sure he said thank you to each one of his teammates for that mental mistake. So I give Kellen a lot of kudos, but that's something that the league has, tried to crack down on. Now, I could counter that by saying, look, their team, when they were up 1-0, tried to delay the game all the time. So, how does that manifest itself? And then when we went 2-1 up, we delayed the game. So there's a little bit of give and take in our sport there. But the location of the foul and then Nico putting the ball behind, because look, if there's a foul and the ball ends up 5 yards ahead of the spot of the foul, refs are pulling that back all day long. But because the ball was behind, I think he just let the play go. And then they were also complaining that the ball was moving, but I don't think the ball was moving. So, it's just one of those decisions that referees have to make. Was the foul egregious? Was the foul trying to stop us from going in attack? So if our team wants to play it in quickly from behind the spot of the foul, why shouldn't we be allowed to do that?
So just real quick. So your understanding though was their dispute was basically why did the referee?
You'd have to ask Robin and his staff. I don't want to speak for Robin, but that's my interpretation of their,
Okay, we'll go up to Zoom. Felipe, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Thank you, Alex. Coach Brian, so the team dominated most of the game today, and then even with 10 players, the team never quit. And you spoke about the team being tired and having this many games. In your opinion, what was that the team had today that made them to play the way that they did today?
So, Felipe, we changed a little bit our training. So we reduced the volume of our training, but kind of raised the intensity because we had lost 3 games in a row. So the coaching staff, along with our, our sports guys, sports science guys, we decided we wanted to cut training down, 20, 30% to make sure that they had enough freshness. They had just come off a 3-game week. I think the season has already been a long season for us. We've played many, many games. And so for us to, think about how we trained, why we trained, I think was a big factor in tonight's win.
Thank you.
If there are no other questions on Zoom, and if there are, that's fine. You have to hit that raise hand function button, though, for me to see it. We'll stay in the room here and close us out. Maz, I see you. Mike's coming over from Gigi.
as long as I've been covering the Sounders, you're always happy to talk about this player, and you didn't talk about him today. What did you get from Christian
Christian?
Rodin on the inside?
Okay, good way to close, Maz. That's a great question. So, did I like Christian back there? Did we provide enough energy and spark where he normally plays? I thought Jimmy did an okay job there. I wanted, and to be fair to Jimmy and Alex, it was kind of one of the few times. I know they played there a little bit, but not a lot this season. But I wanted Jimmy to come inside a little bit and Alex get up and down. They weren't quite as cohesive as Christian and Alex were, because they're brothers and they think the same way and all that. But I think Christian next to Albert was kind of a steadying influence. I think he was very good defensively. He understands all the tactics, so that was okay. We'll keep revisiting that because Danny did a good job there. Kellen can play in there. Josh Stencio had a good 80 minutes for Defiance yesterday, so I'll keep revisiting that to see how we kind of mix and match the pieces. But tonight certainly was a, good statement by Christian why he might play there the rest of the year.
Anything from Sports Media Institute before we come back this way? There is a question? Ari? Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. And then we'll come back to Jeremiah on this side.
So when the first goal happened, do you think that, so you said that it was 5 yards or something behind where the foul was committed. So do you still think that the first goal was deserved?
Absolutely. Jordan scored a great goal. We're taking it. We just lost 3 games in a row, so we were going to take any goal no matter how it happened.
Okay, thank you.